Hello and welcome to all of you. I am Anil Arora, Assistant Professor in Electronics and Communication Engineering Department. This is part 4 of the topic oscillators. This topic is under the course Analog Electronic Circuits. The lecture contents for today's session are resonant circuit oscillators. So there are two types of resonant circuit oscillators. One is Hartley oscillator and Colpitts oscillator. For both of the oscillators, we will derive the expression for frequency and beta, that is the feedback network factor. And these are the references for today's session. Resonant circuit oscillators. As the name suggests, in this oscillator, we use resonant circuit, and this resonant circuit is used to determine the frequency of oscillator circuits. As you know, the resonant circuit LC, or we can say that when the inductor and capacitor are connected in parallel, then this circuit is used as a resonant circuit. So in this kind of oscillator, we use LC circuit to determine the frequency of oscillators. Number one is the Hartley oscillator. Here we can see that we have the amplifier and the feedback network. That is this combination of L and C. Here we can see that this circuit is used as a feedback network circuit. So the input to this feedback network is taken by the output of the amplifier, and the output of this feedback network is given to the input of amplifier. This section is the amplifier of the circuit. This section, here we can see, this section is the amplifier of the circuit. So we have LC circuit used as a feedback circuit in this oscillator. Now this is the Hartley oscillator. In the Hartley oscillator, we use two inductors and one capacitor as a feedback network. These two inductors are connected in series, and the series connection of these two inductors are connected in parallel to the capacitor, and this circuit is used as a feedback circuit. The another circuit is the Colpitts oscillator. The amplifier circuit is same, but in this feedback circuit, we use two capacitors and one inductor as a feedback network. Here we can see in the Hartley, we use 2L and 1C, but in the Colpitts oscillator, we use two capacitors and one inductor. Here we can see we have the series combination of two capacitors C1 and C2, which is in parallel to the inductor L, and this circuit is used as a feedback network. So in Hartley, we use two inductors and one capacitor, and in Colpitts, we use two capacitors and one inductor as a feedback network. So let's calculate its frequency and feedback factor beta. First of all, let's draw the general form of LC oscillator. General form of LC oscillator or resonant circuit oscillators. So here we have amplifier. This is the block diagram. The output of the amplifier V0 is given to the feedback circuit. So this is the kind of feedback circuit in LC oscillators. And the output of this circuit is given to the input of amplifier. And this is the ground. If we name is at Z1, this element as Z2 and this element as Z3. So here we have two types of circuit. So let's discuss here that where Z1 is equal to JX1, Z2 is equal to JX2 and Z3 is equal to JX3, where X is equal to omega L for inductors and XL is equal to 1 upon, so here we write minus 1 upon omega C for capacitors. So this is the general form of the circuit of LC oscillator. So we know there are two type of LC oscillators. For this circuit, we have X1, X2, X3, and for Hartley and Colpitts. We have for Hartley, the X1 is L, for Colpitts, X1 is C. And similarly for Hartley, we have X2 is L, and for Colpitts, this is C. For Hartley, X3 is C, and for Colpitts, it is L. So we can draw this table for Hartley and Colpitts oscillator. Okay. Now let us draw the equivalent circuit of this network. So here we draw the equivalent circuit. Using BJT. As we know, in the output of an BJT based voltage amplifier, we have this voltage generator in series with R node. And if we consider, so let's change the color of, so if we consider this as a load, the feedback network as a load, and we say it as ZL, then in the equivalent circuit, we have here we have ZL. Or in the ZL, here we have the VF. Okay. So this is the ZL, this is R node, and this is AV VI, where VI is the input of the amplifier. Now, since we know that the input impedance, here we can see that since we know the input impedance of the amplifier is very high, so a minimum current will flow in this branch, the total current will flow through Z3 and Z2. The current flowing through Z3 and Z2 is equal, since due to higher input impedance of the amplifier, a negligible current will flow through this branch. So let's discuss further. Now derive the equation for the beta. As input impedance of amplifier is equal to infinity, nearly equal to infinity. Hence, input current into the amplifier is equal to 0, since we can say that Z2 and Z3 are in series. So let's draw the output section again. Here we have Z3. Here we have Z2, and here we have, in parallel to both of these, we have Z1. And here we have the VF, that is the feedback voltage and is connected to the input of amplifier. Here we have the V note. Hence, if we say that ZL is equal to the total equivalent resistance of this network, total equivalent resistance, then we can say that ZL is equal to Z2 plus Z3, which is in parallel to the Z1. Here we can see that Z3 and Z2 are in series and Z1 is in parallel to both of these. So the total impedance of this network is ZL, that is equal to Z2 plus Z3, that is in parallel to Z1. So we can say that the impedance ZL is equal to Z2 plus Z3 into Z1 divided by Z2 plus Z3 plus Z1. Okay, so this is the total impedance of this network. Since we know that beta, which is the gain of this network, is equal to VF by V naught, where VF is the output of this network and V naught is the input of this network. Hence, we can say that VF is equal to, by looking at this series, we can say that VF is equal to Z2 divided by Z3 plus Z2 into V naught. Since we have the voltage V naught here and this is a potential divider arrangement, so we can calculate the VF as V naught into Z2 divided by total impedance, that is Z2 plus Z3, by using the potential divider circuit rule. And V naught, we write it, we have V naught. So V naught is cut by V naught. So we can say that beta is equal to Z2 divided by Z3 plus Z2. So the feedback factor of this network is Z3 divided by Z2 divided by Z3 plus Z2. Okay. So let's draw its equivalent circuit again. As we drawn in earlier slide, here we have the ZL. This is R naught and this is AVVI. Okay. So here if we calculate the V naught, that is across this ZL, here we have the V naught. So again, by following the potential divider arrangement rule, we know that the input to this network is AV into VI and we are taking output from ZL. So we can say that V naught is equal to AV VI into ZL upon ZL plus R naught. Okay. Since again here we can say this is potential divider arrangement and we can say that V naught upon VI is equal to AV into ZL upon ZL plus R naught, and where this is the gain of the amplifier. Since V naught is the output of amplifier and VI is the input of the amplifier, so we can say that this is as A. A is equal to AV ZL upon ZL plus R naught. Okay, so we have calculated A and beta. So here we have beta and here we have A. Now, since we know that to fulfill the Bar-Hassan criteria, which is A beta is equal to 1, according to Bar-Hassan criteria, this expression should be fulfilled. So here we have A, we have derived the as this expression and beta as this expression. Let's put these two expressions for A and beta in this expression. So we have A beta is equal to, where A is equal to ZL into AV divided by ZL plus R naught. So this is A, and beta we have Z2 into Z2 divided by Z2 plus Z3. So here we can see that here beta is equal to Z2 divided by Z3 plus Z2, and A is equal to AV into ZL divided by ZL plus R naught. Okay, so let's solve this expression. And we have ZL also. Here we can see that we have ZL as this expression. So put ZL in that expression and solve. After solving, so we put the ZL from the last expression. So after putting the ZL and solving this expression, we have Z1 into Z2 into AV divided by Z2 plus Z3 into Z1 plus R naught into Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. So this is by putting ZL and solving this expression, we get A beta is equal to this, where Z1 is equal to, as we discussed earlier, Z1 is equal to JX1, Z2 is equal to JX2, and Z3 is equal to JX3. Okay, now putting the values of Z1, Z2 and Z3 in this expression, we have A beta is equal to AV into JX1 into JX2 divided by JX2 plus JX3 into JX1 plus R naught into JX1 plus JX2 plus JX3. Okay, so we can write it again, since J into J is the J square, that is equal to -1. So we can write it as minus AV X1 X2 divided by, here again we have the J into J minus, here we have again minus. So again we have here the minus sign as X2 plus X3 into X1 plus J R naught into, J is taken as common, into J R naught into X1 plus X2 plus X3. Now multiplying the minus sign in numerator and denominator, we have AV X1 X2 divided by X2 plus X3 into X1 minus J R naught into X1 plus X2 plus X3. Okay, and this is equal to A beta. Now, since we know that the loop gain, that is equal to A beta is equal to real. It should be real for an oscillator, hence its imaginary terms should equal to 0, and in this whole expression this is only the imaginary expression. So for A beta should be equal to real, we have this term is equal to 0. Hence we can write it as R naught into x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. Since imaginary part should be 0, hence we can say that x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. So this is the mandatory condition for both types of oscillators, resonant circuit oscillators. That is for Colpitts as well as Hartley. This expression should be valid. Now let's first of all let's discuss for the Hartley oscillator. Hartley oscillator. For Hartley oscillator, we have x1 is equal to inductor. This is inductor. This is inductor, and one is capacitor. So let's write the x1 and x2 value for inductor and x3 value for capacitor. So for inductor, we have x1 is equal to j, that is equal to j is omega L1 plus omega L2 minus 1 upon omega C3 equal to 0. Or we can write j also. Here we can write j omega L1 plus j omega L2 minus plus 1 upon j omega C3 is equal to 0. So in this expression we multiply j above and j below. So this is minus and j will taken as common and will be 0. Hence this expression is okay. So we can write omega L1 plus omega L2 minus omega C3 equal to 0. So for this expression, we can write omega into L1 plus L2 is equal to 1 upon omega C3. So omega will be on this side. So we have omega square into L1 plus L2 is equal to 1 upon C3. So we can write omega square is equal to 1 by L1 plus L2 into C3, where omega is equal to 1 upon square root of L1 plus L2 into C3. And we know that omega is equal to 2 pi f, and if we put omega here as 2 pi f, so we can write it as f is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root of L1 plus L2 into C3. So this is the expression for frequency derivation of Hartley oscillator. Okay, so this is for Hartley oscillator. Now let's calculate the frequency for Colpitts oscillator. So we have derived the expression for that x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. Now for Colpitts oscillator, we have anything. We have two capacitors and one inductor. So let's again take x1 as x2 as a capacitive element and x3 as inductive element. So here we have 1 upon j omega c1 plus 1 upon j omega c2 plus omega L3 is equal to 0. J omega L3 is equal to 0. So this can be written as minus 1 upon omega c1 minus 1 upon omega c2 plus omega L3 is equal to 0. So here we can see that we can take these two terms on this side and we can have or this side. So we can have the 1 upon omega into 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 minus omega L3 is equal to 0. Okay, multiplying by minus sign. So we have 1 upon omega into 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 is equal to omega L3. Okay, so we have omega here. So we have omega square is equal to L3 will be on this side 1 upon L3 into C1 plus C2 upon C1 plus C2. Sorry. So here we have C1 plus C2 upon C1 into C2. Okay. So since omega is equal to omega is equal to 2 pi f. So we can write it as f is equal to 1 upon 2 pi L3. So it's square root of L3 into C1 plus C2 divided by C1 C2. Okay. And this is equal to C equivalent. We can say it as the C equivalent. So here it is 1 by 2 pi into L3 into C equivalent, where C equivalent is equal to C1. So we have some error here that here we have the C1 C2. Okay. So here we have this. So C1 into C2. So here we have C1 plus C2. So we have C equivalent is equal to C1 into C2 divided by C1 plus C2. Okay. So this is the frequency where f is equal to 1 by 2 pi square root of L into C equivalent. This is for the Colpitts oscillator. And for Hartley, we have 1 by 2 pi square root of C into L equivalent, where L equivalent is equal to L1 plus L2. And this is for Hartley oscillator. Okay. So for these two oscillators, we have calculated the feedback factor beta and the gain of the amplifier A, and by using the Barr-Crescent criteria, that is A beta is equal to 1, we have calculated frequency for both of oscillators. Thank you.